Hello everyone, this is Asim. Welcome back to our channel. And this is the second guest in our Hacker to Hacker series. The first one you would have seen me on with Gaurang, where he was helping us understand Android exploits and security stuff. Today with me we have Armaan Samir, aka Tess. You would know him by his online handle. And he's quite active on Bugcrowd and other places where he's hacking on something or the other. In the recent Bug Bash event in Las Vegas, where he stood six, and we were just talking about it, and he mentioned that it was quite some event. So Tess, would you like to introduce yourself to the guests?
Hello everyone. The real name is Armaan, and I go with my handle Tess. And usually I'm hyperactive on Twitter, and you can find my Burkhardt profile, which goes by the handle Tess. And I have a hacker one as well, which is like real Tess. And I do bug bounties and as a full-time bug bounty researcher. And on the other side, I work for Project Discovery. You might know.
Yeah.
I work in nuclear templates for them.
Okay. Oh, that's a really cool project, by the way. So,
Yeah, it's really nice.
just one liner or something. Tess is a bit camera shy. I requested him to come on the camera, so he's ready. But yeah, he might not be speaking a lot about himself, but he has done quite some work. I will add all the links of his profile. Just check him out on Twitter and a lot of places where he's posting things and stuff. He had the highest signal 7 for the past 90 days on HackerOne, and even on Bugcrowd, he's around 100 or 105th rank, something like that. So he's quite active in bug bounties and stuff. So you can definitely learn a lot. Today, Tess, what are you going to teach us today?
Today we would be doing on public program called Indeed on Bugcrowd.
All right.
Like there's a lot of bugs on that program, but I don't know why people don't take public programs seriously.
Uh-huh.
Like Indeed is a very nice team. They even accept self-XSS and other low-hanging bugs. So if somebody is like really wants to start in bug bounty and go for a platform, so I would recommend go for Bugcrowd and go for Indeed, like your first program, because my first bug was also in Indeed.
Oh, that's really awesome. A lot of people they think that only private bug bounties can fetch you big bounties and all those kinds of stuff, but this is new.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Tess, you can start with teaching us something new here.
Something new. I don't think like I would be able to teach you something new, but I would be able to show you my methodology, like what I do. If like for example, if I'm hunting on, let's say if I started hunting on Indeed.com, so what are the first things I would do? A lot of people have confusion like how to get started if we started to hack on any of the public programs on any bug bounty platform. So the first thing I would do is like, let's say, for example, I would just go to Bugcrowd/Indeed. So yeah, the first thing which comes first is I directly go to out of scope and check what kind of bugs they're not interested in. Because these are the bugs which pokes first. Like the out of scope ones are the first to poke out because nobody else reports this. So yeah, they say this is not in scope, this is not in scope. And by third party, they mean if any of the third party services they are using with Indeed, which could be any of the services. So I think they're not interested in this. And they say open redirects on t.indeed.com. So we'll just ignore these things. And I would read all these things like what they're trying to explain me, like look for this, look for that. And then the payout table, like which ones they're interested in. Sometimes the program discloses some information in the bounty brief, which people ignore. Like they say, oh, we think we have a lot of open redirects. Can you check? And you could just go and, start finding open redirects real quick. And sometimes they even disclose, we think this parameter has reflected XSS. Can you go ahead and start finding this?
Hmm.
So this is why you should read the bounty brief. It's very important. And the next thing I would do is my favorite part of hacking is doing subdomain enumeration. Like I enumerate a lot of subdomains. Like I don't know, I have this obsession of enumerating subdomains every day. Like sometimes I even do it every 2 hours. Like I have cron jobs all over the internet, like all over my VPS. I'm saying internet, all over my VPS, and I just keep enumerating subdomains.
It's like a treasure hunt
So
kind of thing, just finding something
yeah,
new.
it's it's like a treasure hunt. Like I like to find subdomains, like collect them, sort them, screenshot them, and keep watching them. Like what's new, what's new. This is why I was able to get a lot of bugs on Dell. Like if you go to Dell, you would see me as the second hacker on them.
Oh,
So
I know that.
yeah, I would just tell you like what I did to be second on this. Like what was the secret sauce for this? So let's get back to India. Let's not hurt Dell for now. That's my favorite program. I don't want you guys to duplicate me. So the first thing I would do is like I enumerated all the reconnaissance since I know I would be on your video. So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
a lot of people use different tools. Like why I don't understand why they use different tools when they have the king of all tools, which is Amos. Like you could just go check
Uh,
Amos. Like I use a text editor, which
yeah, I had a video on this as well. I also really like the tool, I must. Yeah, it's
yeah,
pretty.
yeah, I love. It's a really nice startup.
Mm.
So this is the tool which I use a lot. A lot of people, I don't know why they don't use AMS anymore. They use a different bunch of tools like GitHub, Subdomain Finder. Like that's cool too, but the basic one you should get started with is AMS. Well, and the command which I use is I just type AMS because I have a text editor here. So everything I have short forms, so I don't forget the commands.
Uh,
So I just do is AMS enumerate hyphen passive, no recursive, no else hyphen D, and I just name whatever subdomain I want and just sort it with HTTPX. Sometimes I
What's
remove
no words?
HTTPX.
What is that? No words flag?
I don't know. I have to go and check
Okay.
on.
It's just muscle memory, I guess.
It's yeah, it's related to something. Man, I keep using different flags which I don't even know. Like I just find it in the blogs or Medium,
I
and
get
they
it.
just be like, I think this command was given to me by Orwa, if you all know.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Or yeah, so I didn't even ask him questions like what is it? Just give me and I just
You don't ask
I would
questions.
just
So,
yeah, but I think it's something related to certificates like
uh,
noels or something. But
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not too sure. I
definitely
have
get
to
it.
go and check the installation page and then.
Yep. Yeah.
So this is what I would do. I would enumerate the subdomains and gather them like this,
Mm.
and then I would start looking at them. Instead, what I would do is mostly enumerate subdomain HTTPX, and I would do is title. A lot of people, I don't know if everyone uses this,
I like this
but
flag. Very easy to
this
find.
is the yeah. Just you don't even need to screenshot. Sometimes I just find like I see dashboard and I just
Exactly.
visit and
That's my
I
thing.
see an open.
Dashboard. Okay,
Yeah,
just go and check.
yeah. Just go and check. And if I see Grafana, I just copy the link and just throw it to Nuclear and see if any CVs are available or anything. So yeah, this is what I do. I even yeah, this is the enumeration. Like this is HTTP. So
Uh,
I like people just stop here. Like they stop. They don't do anything more. And they be like, oh, these are all the subdomains, but they are not correct. Like this is not all the subdomains which are running on Indeed. You have to do port scan as well.
yeah, yeah,
Like when you do port scans, a lot of subdomains which are dead, which are not working, will
definitely.
start working here. Like sometimes the port is working on 8443. Like for
Definitely.
example, this subdomain won't work when you try normal HTTPS and this, but when you use 8443, it will start working. So
How do you get all these ports? Is it again from HTTPX or?
uh no. I do port scan. I use Pretty Recon by this tool is by Morningstar. It's a very nice tool. Mm, I don't know if a normal page would open up or if the dashboard panel will open up. Like let me just. I don't want to leak things. Yeah,
Maybe, definitely.
this is a very nice tool. Like you could organize your recon here,
Hmm.
and there is an option here to do port scanning, IP slash and ports. So
Hmm.
this is what I use like most of the time. And apart from this, for port scanning, I use Nabu.
Oh, yeah, now it's fine. Yeah.
So Nabu is one of the tools which I use, and the other one is GitHub Rust Scan.
Yeah, I've used this one as well. It's quite fast.
Yeah, this is the fastest tool I've seen for port scanning. Like this is quick.
This is very quick. Yeah.
I think you can even
some tools might have missed something, so the other tool has caught that, and then you get a collated list of that.
this is why I use two different port scanners.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Or do you also use two different VPS, or is it the same VPS? Maybe it got blacklisted or something, so you use a different VPS or something.
I use a bunch of VPS, like 6, 7. Sometimes I create like 10 to 12. I don't even have like I don't even remember which one is running and which one is not running. I have to go back to my DigitalOcean and check which one is running and then turn it off.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
So yeah, so I was talking about this, like when you enumerate with title flag, you would see a whole bunch of different titles here. So this is just for a quick review. Like for example, over here you see ended chatbox GraphQL, but remember chatbox was out of scope, so just ignore it. And yeah, this is how I see. And sometimes you might see that a subdomain is active in production, which was supposed to be accessible internally, which was a dev subdomain. And you might find something which says dev console or something, and you just open it using this flag and you get a bug.
Yeah.
Like this happens with me a lot of time because I'm obsessed with enumerating subdomains. I keep enumerating them with this title tag. So yeah, let's get back to this results, the port scanning. Like a lot of people don't do port scanning. You should do port scanning and you will find a lot of crazy stuff. And the other one is like people say they're in nuclear and they don't find anything. Like that's not true. Not every time nuclei has to, you don't have to match nuclei with duplicates. Like you have to work on your subdomain enumeration skills so you can get good results with nuclei. By which I mean, like for example, this is the subdomain like this. And what I do sometimes is I get the subdomain like this, go to nuclei, and you have to make sure you give this with the port address. Like the port should be there. Like right now, what I have here is 2086, which was found by me by Nabu, and then I go ahead and just run nuclear tempest on this. And sometimes you would find Grafana, you would find Jenkins, and other different instances which were supposed to be hidden behind that port.
No, just a quick question. The port scanning that you do with Nabu or let's say any other tool, so you just check for the top 100 ports, or do you check all like 65,000 ports?
If I'm free and if I have a like whole bunch of time, I would do 1 to 1,000.
Not enough.
And
The top
if I
1,000
don't have
ports.
time, yeah, the top 1,000 ports. And if I don't have time, I just quickly run the fastest one.
Okay, that makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, because running 65,000, this is quite noisy and takes a lot of time.
I I do run 65,000 as well. The name of the tool is Pre-Engine.
Oh yeah, I've used this one. This is pretty good tool.
I just use this for port scanning, nothing else. I just use this for port scanning. And I set cron jobs in this, like you can set cron jobs. So this is how the panel looks like when you set this up on your dock. I think you made a video on this.
I think
And yeah, from there I learned how to install this because I was getting into Docker instances errors and stuff. And then I just searched on YouTube like how to install Re-Engine. I saw your video, and then I just followed the steps and I installed this.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty good tool. I really like this one. Yeah.
Yeah, so specifically, I enumerate subdomains manually by using AMS, and there is one more tool which I didn't mention, which is One for All.
Oh.
Like this is a Chinese tool because a lot of things over here
I
is
think
in
this is.
Chinese, and this takes a whole lot of time. Like it takes 30 minutes to enumerate subdomains, but the subdomain enumeration results is like crazy results.
Chinese
And
are
then
good at their
yeah, I enumerate subdomains from this tool, One for All. I enumerate subdomains from Amos. I combine them, sort unique, and then upload it to Re-Engine, and then I do port scanning. And then with the port scanning, I have 24 hours of cron job. So every 24 hours, it keeps running and sends the output to my Discord server. And from the Discord server, I keep checking. I have my phone on my like 24/7. I have my phone with me, and I keep checking. Like if I see something unusual, like if it's 22687,
Mm.
or it prints a banner with it, like CGI panel,
Mm.
or Grafana is up, or the Dev console is up. I just throw that link to Nuclei and scan it, and I find leads, and I just quickly report it.
So you are a whole bounty machine, just running continuously, getting up and
Yeah,
up.
automation is the key. Like
I
a lot of,
definitely.
if you ignore automation, like you will make money, but you won't make money as much as you want, like as a full-time bug bounty hunter. Like if you want to make money as a full-time bug bounty hunter, I recommend, like I insist you do this, all this stuff. Do port scanning, like 24 hours cron job is very important. Like sometimes what I do is I enumerate these subdomains, I enumerate these things, and I have a cron job. For example, nuclei. Let me just show it to you on my terminal. Like, look, this is MX fingerprint. This subdomain is up. Like, this is
Mm.
up. If you visit this normally, I don't think if it's up or if it's something not up. I think Indeed team is cool with this because we're showing their ports and stuff. Yeah, yeah, it looks like this.
uh,
So
I
when
think
you
it's a
run it
support
on,
panel. Yeah, Zendesk or something.
yeah, this is a Zendesk something. So when you run 2086, it's not accessible. But sometimes Nuclear scans it and finds a path which you
Ah,
well, we have a very nice in Project Discovery. We are now working on a very nice technology detect templates. I don't
technology.
even I don't yeah I don't even use any other tool for fingerprinting. I use Nuclei
Uh,
technology stack, and we have
I really like the tool. Yeah.
famous yeah we have famous technologies. What I think is people don't understand how to use Nuclei. Like this is a very powerful tool. Like you could just run the following tag, for example. If this is like this and you have a list of subdomains, what you could do is just run nuclear templates and technologies. I'm sorry, I have a whole bunch of text expanders. Yeah, so over here you could run technologies tag, okay, and you could get a list of technologies,
Oh,
and
okay.
then you can sort them out and you can decide which one you want. Like you don't have to use nuclear every time to do aggressive scanning. You
Mm,
could do it for fingerprinting as well.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So
Something similar to what
yeah,
people used to do with water web and vaporizer and those kinds of things. So fingerprint, go one.
yeah, yeah.
You can get it.
Like you could shift from Vaporizer and you could just move on to this. And if you think like we are missing something, like any
Mm.
tech detect or anything, you could just raise a PR. Like the PR team is very friendly, and we would just merge it to Nuclear. And
And that's
you could use
you
yes,
don't have it, make
like
it.
yeah, people don't. I don't know why people don't push their targets to Nuclear. Like you should go ahead and push your work on Nuclear. Like technology detect if you're missing something. Like it's very easy. Just go to Project Discovery,
Yeah, it's very
click
easy.
on pull
I've seen it.
request, and
Mm.
whatever you think like is missing, just create a PR. Even if you don't validate the template, just give us the reference and we'll do it for you, and we'll
Ah,
just upload
that's
push it
very
to the
awesome. Yeah,
master branch.
I
Yeah,
think
this is what like a lot of kind people just push CVs and stuff. Like if you don't even have proper reference and if you need help, just raise a PR and just be like, oh, you need help and we will help you.
definitely ask more people to contribute to it. That would be really cool.
Yeah, so where was I? Yeah, I was on this. I use engine. I use this port
Just a quick
scanning.
question. Just a quick question. So this thing, this what is it? This subdomain enumeration, does this also go automatically to Renjin every day, or do you do it whenever you want and then you put it to Renjin and then the new list gets cron job scanned every day? How does that
Uh,
happen?
I'm not good at today's new level, so I have to do it manually. Like I don't have set up like the way other people have. Like I'm not so good at coding stuff in Python and other ones. I know the basic ones like YAML and Bash. So what I do is my cron job is running
Mm-hmm.
and do a list of subdomains as a zip file on my Discord server. I download it and it already sorts unique, so I don't have to worry about if I might get any duplicate URLs. I just copy the list of subdomains and just upload it to Range and Re-engine has the cron
Now
job
you have
already,
given
so
me
it
an idea.
starts like
Sorry. Now you have given me an idea for a video. I'll just make this up. How Tess does it, automating Tess's workflow, and then I'll make a video around it.
sure. So yeah, the re-engine does the port scanning every 24 hours, and the enumeration which is done manually by me.
Makes
And
sense.
I
Yeah,
upload the subdomains through re-engine.
yeah.
And the other thing which I do is enumerate ASN.
Oh, okay.
Like if I'm doing the reconnaissance on a target, I would do this as well. I enumerate the ASN numbers,
Uh-huh.
this ones, and then what I would do is copy the ASN,
Mm-hmm.
go to Shodan. Where's Shodan? Yeah, Shodan is here, and I would just search ASN and the name. I'll just search subdomains by ASN. Trust me, you would find crazy results with
Yeah, this
this.
is
Like
something new.
you
I've
see
not
this,
seen a lot of people doing this.
like look at the host. Like you would find so many. Like you have to filter this. Like this is a very hectic job. I spend hours and hours just enumerating subdomains. So this is, I don't know, this is my favorite job. I got used to this, but this
And
is how I do stuff. Like
it's
people
worth
think
the
like
effort you're putting in.
people think you're pushing the rank. He's doing crazy stuff. He's doing all this, but the hours of reconnaissance is what makes you one of the good hackers on
It's
like
worth the
many
branding
platforms.
company, right? 6 hours you spend sharpening the axe, and then the 2 hours you spend.
Yeah, yeah, this is what I do. And when you go to Shodan, you would see a lot of stuff like this. Like you don't have to do this. Like go to more.
Uh-huh.
You put this. This is also a secret trick. Like not everyone does this. And over here, you would see facet analysis.
Uh-huh.
There's a thing called in Shodan. So
Mm-hmm.
when you go here, you could sort them according to the port. Like if you
Oh.
see 5432, look, Google is your best friend. Just go 5432. What is this port used for?
Um,
And DVP is the Postgres support.
oh.
So just open it and check which one is indeed. You might find a lot of garbage in this because this is obviously an ASN. So
Yeah.
this is a lot of people might be using this. So you just have to filter the, you know, but this could be a great success if you run this on Synac targets. Like Synac gives you ASN numbers for their clients and they are
Oh.
just specifically owned for their clients. This is what I've noticed. Like those ASN numbers are just when you search them, it's
Uh-huh.
just for their clients, and you could just come to Shodan, search ASN, and just filter the ports, and you will get crazy results.
Oh, definitely, definitely. If it's the whole thing for their own client, then that's a big thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Then there's a whole list of queries here. So the other query which I use here is HTTP.
Title.
This
Oh,
one.
yeah, my favorite one as well.
This is my favorite one, and it will run for a time, and it will show you the results.
So on the title one, then you filter out for Indeed or whatever program you're searching for, right? I guess.
Uh, on the title one, yes. I don't filter out Indeed. I just look at it and I just be like, oh, which one is interesting? Like for example, management console. So sorry, I would just open this. Like
Select from.
sometimes you would find directory listing. I,
Yeah,
I found a lot of critical directory listing using this
that's really nice.
ASN, and then just open this and you would find a whole bunch of directory listing here. I don't want to open stuff because I don't know which one is gonna be sensitive and which one is gonna hurt someone
Definitely,
if
definitely.
if you're leaking something. But this is it. This is how you find indirect directory listing. And yeah, by the title, you have to, filter out the targets. Like
It
if
would
you're
be
if you're
a
working.
lot of time consuming effort, I guess, filtering out and then figuring out if that particular target is belongs to your target or not, right?
Yeah, what if you hit a critical? Like if it's like six
Exactly.
hours of work, you hit
Yeah,
a
no,
critical,
I get
then
it.
you hit
Yeah. I mean,
10,000.
definitely,
Like
it's worth it.
like yeah. So I think it's worth it. Like if suppose the program has a P1 of 1500, I wouldn't invest so much time.
Makes sense. And it could also
If
be
if
that
I
you're searching for it and you might find some other target as well. So it could be about the same thing. Oh man, it's like $100,000 for maximum.
if I'm hacking on FIS, which says any FIS asset is in scope and the bounty is 25,000, I would definitely invest 12 hours doing this.
Definitely makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, Yeah, if it's FIS, I'll try to find their ASN numbers and then search the facet analysis and go to HTTP title and just filter out the results.
Definitely, definitely, this would really help.
And the other one which I would do is port. And one more is this one, Redis key. Sometimes, like this doesn't work most of the time, but sometimes you might find backup files
Yeah, I see.
on Redis server which is running.
Oh, makes
I
sense.
don't know why people run behind queries. Like they be crazy with the queries. Like
Yeah, yeah.
dashboard, this, that. Like this is very simple. Just enumerate ASN and just search it like this. Like it's very easy.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, this was one of it. And the other one which I would like to show you is
So this
uh
ASN thing, you got it from your port scanner itself, right? Did I get it right?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
this is what you get from when you run reengine, you will get it. Yeah, like, there
Hmm.
is an option and you would get it over there.
Okay, okay, makes sense.
And the thing I would do is this one. I check the status code for this. The tag is when you run Amos. Let me just search back to Indeed. Like, look, I'm so used to enumerating subdomains on Dell that I just have a text expander. When I type Amos, it just automatically takes the whole command and just searches for Dell. And I think it's hyphen status
Something like that.
code.
Yeah.
And I would run this and enumerate all this stuff. And if it's 302 and if it's like if I find vhost, then I send this links to FUF.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah. If it's 403, I'll send this to FUF. Like for example, I would just show you. Like if it's this host, I would just go here and ask my FUF to scan this hyphen C hyphen U. Sorry. Fuzz. I think you made a video on FUF as well.
Yeah, yeah, I made a video. So
Like you
these are
have.
quite some of the tools that I use quite often, and it's very useful.
Mhm.
So I thought, yeah, why not?
Yeah, so this is what I would do. Like, let me show you the word list which you're supposed to use. Like GitHub. I think this is the guy who made this word list.
I
Like,
think
yeah, yeah. This person right here. So he has best word list I would say out there, and the word list is one for all. And I use this one. Which one is it? One list for all short.txt.
okay. So does it
And
have
what
a
you could
combination
do
of
is,
all the lists from previous ones? Or is it something like that?
uh, yeah, let me show you the raw results. It's like this.
Okay.
And there is one more. I think there is one more which I use is GitHub words word list.
Payload all things, is that the one?
Uh, so this is very dumb, but this has bring me results. Like this is English words word list. So what I do is let me show you. What I do is I go to FUF, I and I just write HTML like fuzz, and
Oh,
I dot
something.
HTML and give the words and then start scanning. And I would add dot HTML
Hmm.
hyphen words and then match code, which is 200, 302. And sometimes the 302 with the highest content length gives you something information.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say people not to ignore the tag, which is 302.
Yeah, definitely.
And
Um,
in the same way, I use this words word list in a different way, where it says I add dot zip,
oh, that's interesting.
which dot php, and yes, and I get a lot of interesting stuff with this word list. Like people run behind, we need crazy word lists, we need this, we need the
Uh,
other one. But sometimes the basic things with a pinch of smartness just helps.
Definitely. I mean, this is quite into the PHP and the zip thing. I don't think a lot of people try that out. That's quite interesting. Yeah.
Sometimes developers, what they do is like if it's example.com, and they would be like developers would just name their nickname, which,
Oh,
which,
okay.
which will be for example, if they're suppose if their name is this, I don't know what this is, but this is, and they would name it as PHP, and they would
Uh,
just start developing stuff, and they would be like, nobody would know.
Nobody would
Like
know.
nobody would know. And you could just fuzz it, and you can find a lot of like sensitive information like this. And then there's one more thing right here, which is I think a zip.txt, words.zip.
Okay.
If you run this on ASPX application,
Uh-huh.
this is really helpful. Like this
Oh.
one. So suppose if it's an ASPX or ASP.NET application, so what I do is enumerate the subdomains and give for the list of subdomains. Or for example, if I'm giving one subdomain, which is like this, and
Hmm.
which is indeed.com, and I would just add fuzz.zip and list here. So this
Hmm.
list here, and I can match code 302 and 200. Sorry, 200. And sometimes I get a green light that there's the previous one which I got was somebody kept like this is unknown dot zip, and
Oh.
it had a bunch of AWS and other credentials leaking on
Oh
this.
man, this
He,
is
he, he thought he thought nobody would know and nobody would run this extension like .zip, and this is unknown .zip, and you will find it like it's not possible for the word list like the normal word list to detect
uh,
most of the stuff, but you could do this. And what I do is if I find something which is very common, like which I'm getting like a lot of hits, like for example, I was running this, and this word I was getting a lot on a target
hmm.
adminer.php.
Yeah, yeah.
So I would visit the page and see how the page looks like. I would open my Sublime, and I would just create a template, like a custom template.
Uh,
Like, for example, I would give the part which is adminer.php,
uh,
match the conditions, whatever is reflecting in the body. Like, for example, if it says PHP console,
hmm.
yeah, I would match this and just copy this and create a template, like which would be like this. Why am I paste this here like this, and just run it on all the subdomains of the
Also
target and
domains.
find all the results. Like like people don't think how powerful nuclei could get when you learn the YAML and when you understand the complete tool itself. I would say like I had like 3,000 points, like to 2,500 points, and then I started using nuclei in a custom way like this, and I just jumped 1,000 points.
Oh man. And it's not very complicated to do this. People can just read a few of these YAMLs and they can create it very easily. Even I have a video, I think, of this that helps you how to create it. So it's quite easy.
I saw your video. It was very helpful, and a lot
Thanks.
of people started making template after that. Like the one of the main reason I said yes to come on your channel is like your videos are like really basic and which really needs the attention. Like people really needs to like this is what this guy is showing, and this is what hacking is. To
Thanks
be
a lot.
very honest with you. So
That really means a lot, yeah.
yeah, you really go by your name, which is like hacking simplified. Like it's really simplified.
Thanks.
Create the template like this. You could run it on to run it on a list of targets. You would just go like list of txt, and then you could give the port scan results. Don't forget the port scan. Port
Hmm.
scan is very important. Like give it on the list of port scan, and you could just run it like this. Test dot yml, and when you run it, you can run your own custom. You are running your own custom scan on the target.
So you're already
And
one pace ahead of other people who are trying to find something random because they've already figured out that okay, this is something that they do.
yes, and sometimes what I do is I go to Hacker1, see which is the most common zip file people are getting on this.
Oh, this
And
is this is quite good. This is not something I've seen a lot of people doing.
I do crazy stuff. I don't even understand what I'm doing, but I just do it. I don't know. I have this curiosity, like what other people are finding, what other people are doing.
That's
So I
the
see, like
hacking.
let's say for example, this guy get 1,000 bucks for Python zip slip vulnerability. I would just go open it and check if suppose this was leaking. If he mentioned that there is a file which is like let's just assume which is python.zip.
Hmm.
So I would copy this go to Shodan and search as HTML, name of the file, which is this, and try to find the vulnerable host, like whoever is running the zip file. And then I would open it and just check the matches. What are the matches? And I create a nuclear template and scan it on all my bug bounty targets.
Oh, that's really cool. So how do
Yeah,
you keep all
like
these target? Like you mentioned that if you have something and then you can check for all these, right? So do you keep a collated list of all the targets from all the places you have found, or you just create it on the fly?
whenever I enumerate subdomains, what I do is I open. Let me show you. I think I have Chromium running. I don't know, because I don't want to open my own GitHub and leak all my bug bounty private targets. Yes. So I would just go to Hacktivity and check whatever the file is pending, what other hackers are reporting. And if this is done, I would just go and search for dashboard. Like I'm sorry, I'm spelling it out. Yes, dashboard. And I would find a lot of people are finding dashboards which are like access to Nagios dashboard, which is with the default credentials. And be like, okay, this is interesting. What
Oh,
I would do is copy this path,
uh,
okay, and put on Google, which is in URL. Try to find similar host, which is for example this. We want to open this and create a template out of this, which is this. Create a
that's really
template
cool.
out of this, and then run again on your data set.
Oh,
Like
that's really awesome. That's really awesome. Seriously, that's really good. Good
yeah,
stuff.
I do. You can even create like default username
Wow.
and password templates. Like if you're having any problem, like you don't understand, like how would I create a template which it looks tough, like how would I create default credentials? So don't worry, don't panic. You just have to go to Nuclei, search in Nuclei templates, default login. People have contributed very nice templates which are like this here. And what I would do is just copy this, go to my subline, paste this, and edit the path and make it according to me. So this is the easiest way you can create templates. You can run on your own targets. Like you don't have to do, you just have to work smart. You have to take other people's work, and most important, give them credit when you use them or post them publicly. And
That's
yeah,
definitely.
this is how you can become like a good bug bounty hunter if you do all this kind of stuff. And one more thing I think I missed, I would like to highlight is like
Uh-huh.
before wrapping up, like so since I was so focused on subdomain enumeration, this is my I would say this is my secret sauce, or this is I'm sorry, my text expanders are just so annoying. So I use this pure DNS.
Uh-huh.
Uh, once I found a host on a public program which was touched by nobody, and I found like four SQL injections on them. Four SQL injections.
That's a
Using
good
this tool, I was able to find a subdomain which was running PHP. Whenever I find PHP, I just open them
one.
and start just spray and pray. I keep spraying SQL injection payloads and see like what's happening and what's not happening. So I use this, like for example, how I use this is I run pure DNS. I would just copy it. You have to type pure DNS brute force slash root, and then you have to give the word list. Over here, the word W stands for word list, which is this one.
Mhm.
And hyphen R stands for resolvers. I would just give them resolvers. I'll show you which list I use,
Uh,
and then just save it like this. So
oh,
it's that.
you just make it sound so easy that it's just everyone can just go and jump in.
Yeah, yeah, you can go and jump in like this would, if you have a slow ISP, this would
Uh,
really like turn down your ISP, like your internet will slow down for your entire family. Like your YouTube videos will keep loading if you're doing this on your local machine.
oh
So
man,
I insist do this on VPS. And the
definitely.
resolvers, the most important is the resolvers list. So the resolvers which I use is again by this guy who made Recon FTW.
Uh,
I mean, this guy is so amazing. Like he created a bunch of stuff which is so useful.
definitely, definitely. Yeah, he does a quite good stuff. I've seen his. a few of these tools and things. It's quite handy.
Yeah, I think he updated some list called
I
resolvers.
think it's
Yes,
the
yeah,
top one, Resolvers
resolvers.
on FTW.
And and I think it keeps updating every 12 hours. Look, 12 hours ago, it's
Oh,
updated.
okay.
So you can stay ahead of your game if you keep updating your resolvers from this guy's list. Keep pasting them in your resolvers.txt, which is this one,
Mm.
and keep enumerating subdomains like every 12 hours. You will find subdomains which others won't find.
Is that the best DNS word list? Is it a custom DNS word list, or is it also someone from the public
This
domain?
is this is from, I think, Asset Node.
Okay.
No, it's not Asset Node. It's Jason Haddix.
Ah, okay.
Best DNS word list. I think it's Jason. Yeah, it's Jihadix.
Jadix was the first person whose video I saw, and then I started making my own, what is a recon setup automation stuff. I was so inspired. It was really awesome.
I met him in Vegas. He's one of the coolest person.
Oh yeah.
Like very calm, very nice.
I'd want to meet you all guys whenever I come there.
Yeah, we will come. Like, oh, sorry, this is all.txt. This is the word list to brute force. But the word list to, I think it's somewhere here. I don't know. But when you search,
I'll just add the link in the description. Somewhere I'll find and yeah.
you might have to do some reconnaissance and find this. And one more thing I would like to share before wrapping up my boring subdomain enumeration obsession.
It's quite cool.
So the other one which I use is I go to Asset Note. Sometimes when I'm like, oh, it's not enough. Like I haven't found any interesting subdomains. So what I would do is copy this. You could duplicate
Main
this.
subdomains.
And sorry, I have to cancel this. And go to fuf
Uh,
-c -u http s, or you could even name http
mm.
fuzz.del.com. It could be anything. Words, and then give the word list for 2 million word list and start brute forcing.
Oh,
You
yeah,
will
that's
you will find internal subdomains. You might find the ones which are not supposed to be in production,
mm.
the ones which are APIs. Like my whole hacking is revolving around subdomain enumeration.
I mean, that's you have spent a lot of time on it. It's a craft that you have like expertise on.
Yeah,
That's a really good thing.
like
One, just a quick question. That HTTP you
yes.
mentioned. So, do you also run for HTTPS as well, or just you pray that it redirects or something?
This is a nice question. Like I do run HTTP and sometimes I do run HTTPS
Okay, so both of them.
because some host resolves to HTTP and some
Exactly.
host
That's right.
resolves to,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, yeah, I get it. I get it.
One more thing I would do over here is
Okay, the ports that we got from port scanning stuff.
yeah, already like once you're in the game, you know everything. Like, oh, I know
Yeah,
8442
you want
might be
to
a
have all
concept
this
subdomains.
permutation combination coming from everywhere and
Uh,
check it out.
Yeah, and I just run this and close my tmux. I open another tmux, I just run it and close my tmux. And at the end of the day, like I just go and play Valorant. And when I come back, I enumerate this and I upload this to
Oh,
Recon FTW re-engine, and I sometimes start doing FUF, and I sometimes go back to Shodan. And trust me, if you don't find a bug, just slide in my DMs and just say like, Tess, you were lying. Like if you don't find the bugs, if you don't do like if
man.
you don't know, do all this stuff. Like if you follow what I said religiously, you might end up finding a bug on Indeed.
Definitely, you would definitely. I mean, this is quite some detailed stuff. I don't think a lot of people spend this much time doing all this stuff. Definitely, you should
Yeah.
find something or
Yeah.
the other.
This is the econ I spend most of my time on. Like this is it. And if like people would ask, like you don't go into applications, like you don't log in and stuff, check like that. So for that, I have my friends. Like I collaborate with, I would like to give them credit. Like I collaborate with this guy a lot, which is I don't, even he doesn't like social spot. Like I'm like posting him right now here. He's gonna be mad. Like why you said you collaborate with him. So if I find some authenticated panel, I just send it to him, and he checks all the authenticated testing. Him, and there is one more person. He is restricted. I send it to him, and he does the
Oh,
authenticated testing. And there is one more, and which is the N, like Orva. And the most important, the I have started my hacking with this guy, like DK triple nine.
okay.
So I send this to him. I send this to Orva. I send this to Almadi, and they do the authenticated testing. And they are the kind of friends where money doesn't matter. Like you just work with them and you just straight 50-50, like straight 50-50. Like
That's
you,
really
you don't care, like you're gonna find bugs anyway, like for the long run, once you
definitely.
make the friends. So you just do 50-50 and just add them to your report, like if they find anything authenticated or something.
That's really cool. I mean, yeah, the collaboration part is something that people should be focusing more because that's how they learn a lot instead of just focusing on money and all those things. That would eventually come anyway. That's not a big deal.
Yeah. The I do all the recon and I send them the results, and they find cool stuff which I don't find. So
Oh, that's really cool. I mean, you can still you learn a lot from them, and then you can go on hacking on new targets.
can go and hack on new targets, and you know somebody is looking at your recon, so you don't have to worry like, oh shit, I did so much recon and I'm not looking at it. What I do is just paste this into a pastebin file and just send it to them, and they would just slide in my DMs and be like, there's a reflected XSS SQL here, this here, and just we just go and start reporting stuff. Like it's not okay. Like I even work with today's new. I think we ranked top second on the US campaign for the Department of Defense. They opened, like they were rewarding critical reports. So
Okay.
I texted Eric is one of my nicest friend. Like I just text him on Slack if I need anything, and he just gives me the recon. He's like, even if you are newbie, if you're a new person, and just slide into Eric's DM, be reasonable, make sense, and he would just respond to you, and you can work with him. Like
Definitely.
he's
No,
very
there are a
kind.
lot of
Like
cool people in the community. Yeah.
yeah, kindest person is today's new.
Oh,
And
I've
yeah,
never talked to him. I wanted to. I'll just maybe talk to him someday if he's. I
trust me,
he's a bit
trust me.
busy.
Just text him and just be like, hey, I want you to be on my video, and he's gonna tell you like which time he's available. He's
People would
kind.
learn so much from him. He's just a recon, a bug bounty machine kind of thing, running all the time, everything, something or the other.
Yeah, the kind of subdomain enumeration is he does is like, even if I spend 6 hours, I won't find one subdomain which he finds on
Oh
any
man,
target. Like
that's
the kind of
something I should
subdomain he finds. So
definitely.
yeah, this was it. This is what I do. This is what you can do on wild scope targets. Like you could just go on, like start hacking on Indeed pays for self XSS. Like if you end up finding a self XSS, and if you're confused, just write a report, be polite, and just ask the Buckra Crouch, like, can you ask Indeed team if they want to accept this? Like if they're interested, like if this self XSS can do anything to them. And Buckra Crouch is so nice, they would be like, okay, I'll do it for you, and just add a blocker and ask the client. But make sure your report is reasonable, not something like which requires a lot of user interaction, and then you be like, please ask the program teams. They won't ask this. So be
This
reasonable and be.
I mean, I got to learn a lot of things, and most likely when this video comes out, I would have a summary or something like that, and all these links in the description, so people will get a lot to learn from this. Just a quick question. I think we're just short on time, but yeah, just a quick question. What do you do apart from cybersecurity and like subdomain and hacking and stuff?
In cybersecurity, uh, there's nothing I do except this. Uh, I work for Project Discovery. That counts. Like this is still cybersecurity. Like I
Okay.
and what other stuff I do is just go on Twitter, check this. I learn about stocks. I like stocks. I like learning about crypto.
Mhm.
So yeah, I would just do my reconnaissance on crypto and see which is about to boom or which is about to crash, and then make more money with it. Like this is.
Cool, man. It was really nice talking to you. I'll just see you around. Thank you. Thank you a lot for
It's
recording
time
this.
we have to go. No problem, man.
Okay.